A Snake on the Moon, written by Annie Sweet, illustrated by Patricia Srigley. Wiggles the snake was playing at the park, sliding on the slide until the sky got dark, swinging on the swing until Mr. Moon rose overhead like a bright orange balloon. Mr. Moon looked down at Wiggles and said, "Little snake, it is time to go home to bed." All around Mr. Moon, the stars twinkled bright. They twinkled and sang, "Good night, good night, good night." Wiggles said, "Good night," and waved his striped tail. He shook off sand and picked up his sand pail. Wiggles slithered down the path into the trees that ringed the park and creaked in the breeze. The path was so dark he couldn't see the tip of his tail or his one snake knee. Wiggles got so scared he turned tail and fled back to the park instead of his cozy bed. The moon's rays bathed the park in faint light, but the moon had closed his eyes for the night. He was snoring and wearing his nightcap, cuddling his teddy bear in his moon lap. The stars slept too, dreaming their sweet dreams about cheesy ice cream made from moonbeams. Wiggles was only a tiny little snake. He began to quiver, shiver, and shake. He was scared all alone at the park, surrounded by creaking trees and the dark. He wanted to go home to his grassy bed, but the black forest filled him with dread. He hissed, wake up, Mr. Moon." The moon yawned. "Is it morning so soon?" "It's not the morning yet," Wiggles said. "It's night and I want to go home to bed. But the path is too dark and I can't see all the scary things that there might be." The moon said, "I'll lend you my teddy bear." Wiggles said, "That is kind of you to share, but how about a moonbeam instead to light the path to my grassy bed?" For a little snake, Wiggles was pretty smart, even though he wasn't so brave in his heart. The moon said, "My beams aren't bright like the sun. They aren't bright enough to get the job done." Mr. Moon was sad. He gave a big sigh. Wiggles was sad too, and he started to cry. "Wait, I have an idea," the moon said. "I know how to get you home to your bed." The moon's idea made him smile so big he turned a somersault and danced a jig. He woke up 5 stars and juggled them about. "Yippee, again, again," the stars did shout. "How will you get me home to my bed?" Wiggles said to Mr. Moon, so high overhead. "Why, I will give you a ride. How about that?" And he pulled a long string from under his hat. Wiggles really wanted to visit the moon, so he said, "I like that idea. Can I go soon?" Mr. Moon dropped one end of the string. It was tied in a loop like a lasso swing. Wiggles climbed on and he began to rise. He rose so high he couldn't believe his eyes. He rose past the trees, clouds, and stars in turn. Stars so bright he almost got a sunburn. He reached Mr. Moon and climbed on his chin, right below Mr. Moon's mile-wide grin. "Hold on," the moon said, and raced across the sky. Wiggles held on, and in the blink of an eye, he was looking down from outer space on his very own little home sweet home place. Wiggles said, thank you for the ride," and down, down, down the long string he did slide. When he touched the ground, he gave a goodnight hiss and blew Mr. Moon a big goodnight kiss. "Good night," the moon called, "good night and sleep tight." And Wiggles did sleep tight in his bed all night.